Guys, welcome to another episode of Sierra's Pod. Today's topic, I'll be talking about the importance of multiculturalism within workforces and why it should be implemented through any occupation having to do with helping people. So, without further ado, I'm just going to get started on this because this topic really, is important. So I'm going to read you guys a couple of posts that made me sit down and think about this topic more and made me interested in, putting it in the podcast. So let me start off with this one. So this is an Instagram page called, I believe it's called Power of Positivity. I'll link their Instagram if you guys are interested in following them because they post a lot of inspirational quotes, and I like to, see a lot of inspirational, positive quotes to my Instagram. I don't know about y'all, but I do. So this says, I am not impressed by money, social status, or job title. I'm impressed by the way someone treats other human beings. So this quote, after I read that, I thought, I'd rather have someone help me that is a good human being, with their job title. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care, your social status or whatever. If you treat me like a human and help me the way you can as much as possible, regardless of, any of my traits, or not traits, any of my, my social status, job title, whatever, then, I feel good, So that's why this is why this post kind of relates to the importance of multiculturalism within work fields. Another post that is so important. I am currently re-recording everything because my app crashed, so I'm trying to find everything that I wanted to read for you guys that, I wanted you guys to also think about too when it comes to the importance or just in general multiculturalism in workforces. Bear with me, y'all. Oh my god. So, this next post is just like a screenshot of a Twitter thread. It's like a post and then someone replied to it. And after reading this, I was like, thank you. So this says, I want racist people out of the medical field. Period. I don't care how hard they worked. They're the reason why black women are getting neglected and discriminated against in healthcare. Then someone replied to this tweet saying, period. Black women have the highest rate of death during childbirth because their pain is often seen as over dramatized or is that even and not crucial. Get the racist out of our hospitals. So she's basically saying the reason why black women are experiencing high mortality rates when it comes to childbearing is because, white doctors often think that, their pain is they're being over dramatic about their pain. And it's like, it's childbirth. Like, what the? Yeah, I would do a tangent on this, but no. Anyway, and then I'm trying to remember what I was doing before everything cut off. Okay, now I will talk about the definition of, or give you guys a definition of multiculturalism for those of you who are not familiar with this word. So it is considered a political philosophy. Multiculturalism, the view that cultures, races, and ethnicities, particularly those of minority groups, deserve special acknowledgement of their differences within a dominant political culture. So the word multiculturalism is something that stuck with me throughout my college career, I would say, because as someone who was inspired or was an inspiring counselor or human service professional or something around human services, I wanted to be someone that helps people. And in order to help someone, you have to be in a mindset where you can't be selfish. You can't be one-minded. You have to be open to helping everyone. And one thing that I want to say too, so I have a job, right? And it's a lot to do with helping people have the best experiences. I'm going to throw in a random story time. So when I first got my job, I remember the person who was holding the interviews, or at least the classes prior to actually your first day at the job. They would constantly talk about how, to remember that you're going to work with people. And when it comes to working with people, you're going to come across all different kinds of people. So there's going to be people that you're not only work with, but that you are giving services to that, maybe just out of pocket, disrespectful, or people that you come across that, that you might not like at the time when they're just, out here just spewing hate, whatever the case is, or like parents, getting on you because of whatever happened with the child, not provide or not giving the child what they want, something like that. Let's just say, I worked around children a lot, or just all different kinds of people, but sometimes in some certain situations, I might not be able to give 1,000% what I can give them. I'm not really gonna go too much into what I do, but it's a lot to do with guest services, and I have to try my best to give the best I can, but it's not always the case where I can give a yes or whatever. There's times where I have to say no to people, and it's very hard, and some people don't take that well, and it can cause conflict. And that was one of the main things that they warned us about, before going into it. You're going to work with all kinds of people, and you're going to come across a lot of different situations, and they'll be like, here are the tools that you can implement when you come across a certain situation like this, or, any, like, a general thing. And pretty much, it's not like a warning, it's more of like common sense, but at the same time, many people don't grasp the thought of, yeah, I'm gonna one day work with someone who is like this particular situation. They have no idea, and they don't know what to do unless it happens to them, and it's gonna happen to them one day, and whatever that is, it's gonna be an experience for them, and then how they take on it, and in the future, and stuff like that. The reason why I'm mentioning this story time is because when it comes to going into a field like being a nurse, you have to be very open-minded and culturally competent. The main reason why you have to be like that is because as a nurse, you're literally working with anyone and everyone. There's not a particular group of people you're working with unless you are specifically at a specific clinic, or like a special home for people, things like that. I can see that. But if you're just there's also nursing jobs where they work in the emergency rooms, or just in the ICU, stuff like that. They come across all kinds of people from different places and ethnicities, race, gender, sexual orientation, and their job is to take care of them no matter, what. And see, this is where it gets tricky. So, not tricky, but heating. So, every time, maybe you guys might have the same thought. Every time you see a situation on social media where there's a racist, police officer, or a racist doctor, you think to yourself, why go into these fields and have such high power and statuses, and you don't use your you don't use what you have been learned and your power or whatever to help these people. You're oppressing them, you're pushing them farther, and you're hurting them. And how could you go into these fields knowing that you are like this? You're one-minded, you're racist, you're homophobic, you're just closed-minded. You're going to a field that you're going to work with pretty much everyone around the world. You never know who you're going to come across. You can come across Oprah, you can come across Barack Obama, come across me, somebody, and you're having that mindset where I don't want to touch them because they're black. It's like then why did you choose this field? Like, why did you want to become this? Is it really for the money? Is it really for the social status? Like, I don't get that at all. This issue also, we also have to point fingers at the corporations, their policies on these things. Like, you also, yeah, like, now that I think about it, it's a lot of these big name corporations that don't give a shit either. Like, the hiring process. Are you, how are you, what makes someone eligible to be hired at this place? Are you looking for actual, experiences, such as having a degree in this field or whatever, along with having work experience? Or are you just looking at what person's features, traits could fit their job, their fantasy, whatever it is? I'm gonna just say fantasy because it's actually just a fantasy. I've always hear about, or it's always been happening, where let's say a black man and a white man both apply to the same job. The black man has a degree in this such and has an experience in such, and and there's a white guy. He just got out of college, whatever, never had a job before, only just went straight to college, and they hired the white guy. Even though this job requires you to have a degree and work experience, they hired the white guy. And they didn't hire the black guy because they discriminated him against because of his race. That happens a lot. I'm bringing race into this because it's a serious problem with racism within work fields. I need to stop shaking this table. I'm gonna find a better setup so I can shake or do whatever the fuck I want. It happens a lot more than y'all think, that there's people out here who have these jobs of helping people, but they're really pieces of shit people. I can't cuss right. So it's basically in this off. So maybe I can just make this a big question in a final discussion. Why is multiculturalism important in pretty much all or any work field that relates to helping people? It's important because we live in a society that is very diverse, a very diverse society. And as a society that is diverse, we don't act like how we're supposed to, if that makes sense. If this country is, the words, that we write down within documents such as the Constitution, life, liberty, and let me see before I move on. Found it. The Fifth Amendment and the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution declares that governments cannot deprive any person of life, liberty, or property. So, does that apply to everyone? No, because racism, institutional racism, misogynistic behaviors, things like that. Everything is run by the white man. We have to point fingers at corporations, their hiring process. Why aren't they hiring enough people of color? Why are they not really researching the person? when, it's always, oh, wow, we didn't know this, where we have our own governors who are racist and have done racist things towards other people. And it's not until they become, the governor where they're exposed and it's like, oh, well, there's nothing much we can do about it. That's a whole process that we have to go through and all these things. And then, we just going to just let it slide. It's like, why, we're so quick to just give it to a white person. But when it comes to someone who is of color, a black person who gone through hell and back getting an education and working hard at their job to try to get to where they are, and you tell them no. But if it's someone who's literally hasn't done shit in their life and they just look good to you that day, whatever the trait, if it's their fantasy, their workforce fantasy, and you just hire them just because of that, you're a piece of shit. Just know that you're not going to get any business wherever you are. It's like, who do we blame? But we really should just blame ourselves for really like investing into these businesses, or really not, helping people. I'm just tired. For those of you who oppose multiculturalism, critical race theory, etc., just know it's not about you. It was never about you, okay? You're being selfish if you think that it shouldn't be implemented at all. You need to think, I'm not even going to say you. When it's a life or death situation, when it really comes to life or death, you would want someone to help you in your final moments or your worst moments of your life. And it really hurts someone when you just blatantly just disrespect them because of who they are, that they can't change. Like, it's so fucked up. If you have that mindset, you need to go get help. You need to get some therapy, some shit like that. You're never gonna survive in this world anymore. Things are changing. There's people out here making moves now. There's more people of color that are getting to these fields now, and I'm hoping that, more people of color or people going to these fields are actually being evaluated based on their values and how they think and, what tools they use. Because, come on, we can't just have people out here really being racist and not helping people and using their power to just dominate, being, staying up here. You need to use your skills, your power, social status to help people. You need to build each other up. You need to stop just being stupid. That's all I got to say about that. The importance of multiculturalism is basically like incorporating multiculturalism is what can help our society get better. Many of us are sick of these horror stories, these terrible experiences with people who are just straight up ignorant, racist, and we're just tired of that, and I want to be a part of the change. I want, it's not just now. We will get better with this. One day we'll be in a society where it's like, we'll have more people of color who are doctors, who are therapists, and, we're going to be more open-minded and just talk openly about, our struggles and stuff. I think we're leaning towards going that direction, and I hope we are. I want to go to that direction, but yeah. Let me know what y'all think about the importance, or what do you guys think about the word multiculturalism? Should it be incorporated heavily within corporations and work fields? Do you think that it will change our society for the better? What ways do you guys think that multiculturalism can be implemented? Are we going to just, have, I know they've been having like racial classes, like classes that, help people be culturally competent. It's like, at this point, if you just need help, therapy at this point, if you're really just stuck in being your racist ways, but I think it's all about evaluating those people and really learning about these people. Oh, who are you going to put in your company, and your own mindset as well, and how you think, as someone who is a higher person who is recruit people or the big boss or whatever, things like that. I don't know. I hope I made sense today. I might talk about this more because this is a really important topic, but I just wanted to briefly talk about the importance of multiculturalism within workforces and just voicing out that people are tired of being discriminated against and institutional racism and all of that. This shit's got to stop. That's all I got to say. But yeah, that's the end of this podcast, and I'll talk to you guys later. I will talk more about this topic definitely for sure. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. See y'all later.